hours, July. We're in July 2017, 7th day. 2017, 7th day, 7th month. And it's just about 12:07. Pretty special time. Okay, I know Nick Olis can reflect on that. I'm not sure what your resources say about that, Nick, but that's pretty cool. 7/7/17, 12:07. I'm probably in 7 different plays right now, approximately, if I added them all up. Okay, so thanks for coming out. We're going to do a quick review here. First thing I got to do, I actually have a list for the first time ever. True story. So I have to apologize for 2 things. One is, and trust me, it's not easy to apologize. Being the personality type I am, the logic thing, it messes with stuff like that. It's hard to explain, but me and the math issue. So I got a whole bunch of DMs the last 24 hours about, getting algos out and all kinds of stuff and reports, and people ask me to help them with charts and all that kind of jazz. I'm just going to make sure my mic is okay here. I'm still good on the mic. Nobody said anything. No. Yeah, we're still good. Okay. Yeah, so I'll publish to GS if you're off for the weekend there. Anyway, the point is that I have to apologize because what happens in short, and this is just something that people that know me have to get used to, and if you're going to be a member of or subscribe to our algorithms or even the day trading and stuff, not so much the day trading, but the algorithms especially. What happens is like these algorithms, the models come from math that I calculate, and the problem with the way that I function, and I wish it was different, is that when the calculations start, so I can be like, out scuba diving and the calculations start. Anyway, when they start, the problem is I can't stop. So if I stop the process of the calculations, then it messes it all up and I have to start again, and I have to wait for the next time that it all fits. And it's not like I can just sit down and pop out the math. It doesn't work that way. Now, once the model's there, that's why I have 28 plus 6, so 34 models on the go right now. Only 6, we're releasing. But the problem is it comes in like waves. It doesn't come like you say, okay, at 9 o'clock on Friday night, I'm going to sit down and do the math for oil. And I'm going to tell the world exactly how oil trades the last 60 months on 10 time cycles with 53 indicators. So 33,000 calculations. I'm just going to sit down on a Friday night and do that. It doesn't work like that. So just a quick explanation so that you understand when we're releasing algorithms like the gold one that's being released, and what happened with oil when it released, and the other ones, is that there's a process of that. So as you get closer to the end of it, when you go to publish it, the frequencies of insight get higher and higher and more focused, and then what happens is and all of a sudden, you're in the middle of publishing it, and then you realize you don't have it all. And that process happens, and then the frequency more and more and more. So you go to publish, and then it's like, oh no, you don't have it. You go to publish, and then eventually that gets extinguished, and then then you got it. So gold's at that point now where it's extinguished, and I will publish it this weekend. I'll put the, I'll shine up the card. But my apology is, while that's happening, everything else goes out the window. So just basics. In this instance, it's things like you got to get your reports out, you have to function, you have to sleep, you have to, and there's people that are waiting for newsletters and different things. But the problem is you can't really stop your math, so it's a challenge. So I'm just apologizing, saying, could you imagine being married to me? I can disappear down that rabbit hole for months at a time. But, you know, normally good things come out of it. So anyway, that's my apology. I did my best there. The other apology was, oh, my rants. Yeah, so I'm going to do my best going forward. I dedicated to my partners last night that I will check with everybody before I go on a rant in the future. So that's an apology. But so hopefully the rants are done. We'll do our best. So there's my 2 apologies. Hopefully I did okay. There are still people on DM waiting for apologies in manners in which they deem are suitable to their palate that I haven't been able to form to their liking yet. And so I know I'm not the best at apologies. I must not be if that's the case. But anyway, I can't get that any better. So let's get past that. And let's get into DMs. So I have some DMs that I really want to get to, because if I don't, well, let me put it this way. I'm going to prioritize member DMs in no particular order. So I was working on PLSE. I apologize, Tracy. Is Tracy in the room? Where is Tracy? Is she in here? Calling Tracy, aisle 2. Yes. She may not be listening though. It's okay. I'll review it. Do you still need me to review PLSE? That's the important question. Would you like it reviewed, or shall I go on to another one? Oh, well, let's find out if we like it. Let's explore that together, because I got distracted. I was just wondering if you would like me to. So I'll just assume you do. Let's go into, so in that apology vein from last night, I had, it's funny because these hedge fund managers and fundies and stuff, they like to challenge me. But anyway, I had one of them pop the hood on Epic last night. Like, actually stop and look under the hood. I was like, you know, have you actually looked under the hood? And you know, he never admitted that he hadn't. But I got to watch his expressions when he actually popped the hood on Epic, and it was pretty freaking awesome. Nobody's been able to discount the math on any of the algorithms. Just wait until they see the rest of them someday. Which, by the way, that's part of my apology. I forgot. My commitment also is, so the rants, but the other commitment is to not launch anything new until all the algorithms and everything else are, you know, in a rhythm and functioning for the next number of months. Call it Christmas time-ish. So we'll just sit in the rhythm of what we have here. So the other 26 to 28, depending on how you count it, they'll have to sit in the closet, so to speak. Okay, charts. Will cause me to go on a rant. Oh, by the way, if you guys have any, yeah, my rants, they've gotten, look, I used to. They've gotten good, but I thought I was doing great. But anyway, 0 is great for what I understand. If you guys have other charts you'd like to look at, please put them in there. And if I don't catch them, make sure you put them in there, please. Okay, come on, charts. Let's do this. Oh, it's going to cause me to go on a rant on TradingView. Come on. I know the computer's functioning properly. Oh my good lord. Seriously? I just said I was not ever going to go on rants ever again. Really? Is this really happening to me? It is. That's hilarious. It's supposed to be my lucky day. 2017 7-7. What happened? Something's happening here. The cloud, I can see it. The saving into the cloud was happening there. Okay, well let's change the time cycle, time frame. Sorry, time frame and time cycle. There, they intersect. Wow, interesting. Well, let's try it one more time. Gold's holding up, by the way, over support while we're waiting. Yeah, I see that our private fund there took a position this morning in oil, so that's interesting. I never, but our fund did. Sorry, I was just watching one of the cleaning ladies walking by holding her nose because of the poop on the lawn. Okay, here we go. Showing my indicators. Nice. Nice. Internet is slow or trading view is slow, one of the two. It was functioning so nice right before this. It's the test of my rants. So PLSE, so this would be very similar to the position that we took this morning in AAOI, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it's too bad that GS just left because I think he went into AAOI with me. It's risky because it might be at the end of its run, but so PLSE I see very similar, isn't it? Both test their 50 on our, after they come through the bowl into their 4th or 5th legs. PLSE just doesn't have the chart history, which might be to its benefit here. So it's a very similar play. Stock RSI is up. Your MACD isn't. And to be really honest, unless that MACD, you see the MACD on AAOI. The stock RSI was trending up, volume was okay, and the squeeze momentum was trending up, even though it wasn't green yet. PLSE, your squeeze momentum is trending down, and your MACD is trending down. And your stock RSI doesn't really affect anything other than just specific timing. And you're under your 20 MA here. That would concern me. Here, it's over all the MAs. So there are some definite distinct differences, but similar. So too late. I think you're too early. See, if you're not using TradingView, I think you are, aren't you, Tracy? But if you're not, you're at a serious disadvantage without that squeeze momentum indicator. So this is just simple science, right? So I'm not going to go off on a rant. And that's what causes me to go off on rants, is science, right? So science is like this. The science I get involved in, it's absolute. So at least the science, science as science is not, but the science that I apply any disciplines to stocks is absolute science. So when I talk in absolutes, it's absolute, it's not kind of. So the squeeze momentum indicator, of all the indicators that are available on the market, because they all can be back tested scientifically, the squeeze momentum indicator is the best indicator in the world ever, history mankind has ever had, as it applies to our discipline. So if you don't have TradingView, and I'm not speaking to Tracy here, I'm talking to anybody that's listening to this. If you don't have TradingView, you're being foolish. Why are you being foolish? Because from a scientific perspective, if you can only get that indicator on that service, and the service isn't going to cost you much, because you shouldn't be trading if you can't afford TradingView, right? Unless, of course, you're paper trading and you're poor. Then send me a note and let's talk. Maybe we'll take it from our, do-good fund that we should probably have with our private fund. I had a hedge fund manager last night tell me it wasn't a dark pool. Okay, well, sorry, you're using 1 out of 8 definitions of a dark pool. So I'm going to call it a private fund. Anyway, we should have, see, I didn't go on a rant there. We should have a, a do-good, part of that private fund. So I'm going to start talking to the members. Anyway, my point is, get squeeze momentum indicator. It's trending down. Very, very important. So the squeeze momentum indicator says you're early. If the squeeze momentum indicator is red but trending up, different story. But it's red and trending down. That's the problem. Your MACD says you're early too. So your MACD and your squeeze momentum indicator say that you're going to at least return to your 50, if not the 100. Basically, it's the bottom line. See, when the squeeze momentum indicator turned down here, right here, well, see, I got to be careful because it doesn't always work that way as far as the price, because the price can be divergent from your stock RSI from your indicators. So I apologize, I got to back up there. I'm sending out the wrong message because the truth is it can be divergent. And if it's divergent, it's powerfully bullish. So if that ever happens, where see the stock RSI right here, that's not divergent. So price and the stock RSI are in agreement. The MACD, however, and price and squeeze momentum indicator and price action are divergent. When that happens, when these indicators go down and price goes up, buy with both hands and both feet. Why? Because that's the best possible indicator of bullish activity, because the bulls aren't selling. The weak hands might be selling, but the bulls aren't selling. So if you ever see that, if these indicators, are going against what's happening with price, buy with every possible, mortgage your houses. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. Like, how often do you hear me say that? Now here, see that now it's lined up. See how the squeeze momentum, your MACD and stock RSI, they're going with price. This framework right here, this is where the smart people bought right here. Now, is that happening again? It's too early to tell because you're only in day 2, right? But price is going up and the squeeze momentum and MACD are going down. And stock RSI turned up, which is what happened back here, no? Yeah. That is what happened there. Very interesting, Trace. So yeah, I spoke way too soon because I forgot about that, right? Like, that doesn't happen very often. That's a 1 in maybe 300 times you see that. Maybe more, like 400 or 500. I don't know. It's just you rarely see it. So you could have another bull run on your hands. It's possible. I got to be careful about that because when that happens, that's critical. That's divergent behavior. So that's PLSE. So hopefully that helps. We have also, so I just learned a lesson there. I have to be careful about what I say. Okay, Reed. I think Reed had something here that I couldn't get to. I can't remember, Reed. I'm sorry. Shoot. I think Reed's in the class right now. I have to make sure I get these videos posted for him and a few others that can't be in here. Okay. Reed is in here. Okay, I just thought, I'd make sure. I thought I had seen something. Now, Nicholas, I don't know if he's in the room, but wow, what a great call on Cobalt. Cobalt. Nick rocks Cobalt. So we need to just do this really quick at Hedgehog. Nailed the Cobalt call. Kapauza. See, mine aren't just kapows, they're kapauzas. Okay. Now, yeah, is Nick even in the room? He might not be in the room. Yeah, he nailed that. And the whole time, Nicholas is one of the most faithful people you'll ever meet. This is Hedgehog Trader I'm speaking of. For many, like not just a few months, many months, he's been DMing me every day, many times a day, with direction on the market. Not asking anything for it, not, you know how it is, right, in relationships. Faithfully telling me exactly where things, he sees things going. Really, really neat fellow. Okay, nothing but respect there. Gold. Look at, and it's not just because he, I get something out of it. The respect is he doesn't get anything out of it. Gold. Here's your short synopsis on gold. So I went off on my apology about the algorithm. Tomorrow night, approximately 11 o'clock p.m., it'll be out and launched. And by the way, and this is not, this is not a sales thing. The price of gold, the price of the gold algorithm will be going through a significant increase, just like Epic, because its charting is in the same stage as when Epic went through its significant price increases. That's going to happen right away with Rosie. Not that I'm asking anybody in this room to go out and buy it right now. I'm just saying that I got to be, straight up. So here is your synopsis. This, people like Matt, well, Matt would know this because, Matt's been in the room with me for, since day one, I think. One of the few. Matt should get something special in the mail for that. Actually, all of our early adopters really should get a free trip or something someday. That'd be nice, or something. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to get on the charts. It's 12:29. Let's move. Gold. This line right here, that's the algo line. I just moved it, but good thing it's saved, and this chart isn't really needed anyway. That blue line, that's your resistance. You see, no, I've moved it around now. But anyway, the point is, that's been there for many months. That's been there since late October on our charting as an important algo quad resistance. That's the top of a quadrant. And you can see how price is reacting off of it. Another important line on this charting on the Matt, I think you probably remember this, is this yellow line. This is a math calculation line that we deemed important from a support resistance level that's been there for many months. And there's, of course, a quadrant line here, that blue one. The other ones are just simple fibs. And then, of course, there's the diagonal fibs here in the model for the 60-minute model. It was respecting those, and it struggled down here in the inverse apex, and then boom, it fell out. And that's why I said it's in trouble, because whenever price falls out of an inverse apex like it just did there, back tested and fell, that's a serious problem. Oil just did that, by the way, on a tighter time frame quadrant, but when it failed and it came back tested like this did, like gold did here, when the oil back tested, it got back into the quadrant, right? Gold hasn't done that. It tested and failed, and tested again, it failed again. So on its second test, it really failed. That was a great short opportunity right there. So anyway, what I'm saying is that your next target is 1178.37 area. If it fails that, your next quadrant support is 1143.64. If it fails that, it's 1116.67. Then the next one down is 1052.94. And I can't tell you where they are because they're not on the charting here. Not on this chart anyway. They're on the algo chart. So that's that's your basic charting numbers if you're following gold. I will tell you that our charting has been spot on for months. You can go back into our early publications because we haven't publicized any algo work for a long time with gold. We were keeping a lot of our algos private for a long time there, for months. Your next resistance to the upside is 1298.15. Now, like I noticed in the markets, like you'll get all kinds of numbers, but I mean, you can't deny. Let me give you an example. Like these have literally been on here for many months. These lines. It's the yellow line. We deemed that yellow line. If you know anything about our charting, those yellow lines are important math areas, very important, significant support and resistance areas. Well, that's been on our charting for many, many months. I mean, that fluke, it just hits it, kaboom, right? I mention that because I see all kinds of things on, online and with different analysts and stuff and different numbers. And this is what's nice about absolutes, right? Math, just pure math. There's no, bias in our work. There's bias to the math disciplines. In other words, when you are working with 53 indicators and you're running the math on 10 time frames, 60 months back, we weigh them different. There's that bias, but that's just because it's really not a bias. We weigh them different because of their win rate, right? So that's, again, absolute, if that makes sense. So it's math. So I just wanted you to know because, this isn't like, oh, Kurt thinks the line should go there. Or, the gray ones are important. They're not as important as those yellow ones. Those are fib related. And, kaboom, comes out, falls underneath that. Here's a quadrant line, math, again, boom, right into it, falls. These fib diagonals, it reacted a little bit to them. Normally they'll react more so, but there was a quadrant here, so close, and that's typical. So anyway, that's how our charting works whenever you look at them, or part of, that's just a real quick overview. What do I think is going to happen? Because I got the DMs on it. I think it's in trouble. It has to regain that gray line, and once it gets the gray line, it has to regain this blue line. If it don't get the gray and the blue, it ain't going anywhere. It gets those two, then your next decision's at this yellow line, 1239.66-ish, and then this blue line here. Gets up over there, and maybe it'll get going again. But it's got some very near-term immediate tests. That's gold. AAOI. So AAOI, I took, sorry, just reading a note here. Oh, THC. Right, that was the other one. AAOI, up 7.16% today. I took a entry at 64.90, I believe, before lunch. Long, we'll see how it goes. That is a swing for me, and I'm in 1/3 size, I believe, at 200 shares. So 64.90 entry, 65.89 so far on the day. Really like it. Why do I really like it? Well, I don't like the fact that it's 4 or 5 legs in, but let me just back up here just a little bit for you. So that's that setup that we've been working on. So I'm way late, so I hate that part. But what I like is the same thing that Tracy's, that she was working on there, is that, it worked through it. It got up through the bowl. it went very bullish, came back, tested the 50 and went, and it hasn't got the chart history to mess with it. So it depends, you know, that can be a benefit, right? But more than that, it was at the 50 with the 20 underneath price. So all the MAs were underneath price. And even more than that, my squeeze momentum indicator is trending up, and my MACD crossed over, and my stock RSI is up, and my volume's okay. We did learn with Tracy's that PLSE, I believe, that it can be divergent though, these indicators, and that's important to pay attention to. This one has not been like the last time the squeeze momentum trended up, it went up. The last time the MACD crossed over, it did go up. Last time it tested the 50 MA, it lost it some, just like it lost it some here. Oh, and the other thing was there's some really neat symmetry. So back to Sesame Street here. So if you look at this last time it happened here, it got a pop in here. So price came off, went through the 20, down to the 50, lost the 50 a bit, came back up, hit the 20, lost the 50 a bit, you know, got in here, and then we had the spaghetti of the MAs, and then kaboom. Check this out. So look, it loses, falls off, loses the 20, comes down here, tests the 50. Now, you know, what's different is it did bounce in here. It didn't here, it lost it a bit, and then it bounced. Tested the 20, fell off, identical. Came off and kind of screwed around. Came off, kind of screwed around. When the 20 got down under price, very shortly after, now there was still more testing, and then boom. So, you know, does that mean anything? That symmetry? Well, you know what? I got to tell you, in algorithmic modeling, it's weighted really heavy. You know, I'm kind of giving away secrets there. But you know that saying, you know, the biggest mistake is thinking that, you know, this time it's going to be different, right? So that works inverse too, right? Format. Sorry, I just got to make sure I clarify this. Bring some clarity. I think I'm going the wrong way. Oh, well, anyway, that'll work. So what we want to do is we want to highlight. This is really important to pay attention to, this kind of stuff. But you know, it's not real conventional, so I'm not going to harp on it. But so you got that, right? And then you got that, something like that, isn't it? So time cycles, time frame's a little different. Well, no, it's actually really similar. It's very similar. So publish idea, AAOI setup with symmetry and long for a test. I'll share one a day. Oh shit, pardon my language. AOI, trade setup with symmetry. I'm long. Yeah, one a day is my promise. Publish. Yes, publish. Sorry, I'm moving slow here today. I gotta get going a little quicker. Oil, by the way, is holding up really well after its significant slide. So there's a lot of things to like about this chart. Those were a few of them. Must share real quick. Sorry, guys. Won't take more than a minute. On Monday, I'll share some insights on silver, the silver algorithm. That was a really interesting update, that session. That one's really surprised me. What is this person saying? Should we look? It's awesome. The scam troll about axons. Okay, post. Don't get distracted. Stay on it here. No ranting allowed. Well, oil's actually doing quite good relative. Oh, we got to put some in our room here. One. Happy for the links when they have to. What's the best place for us to listen and observe in real time? Audio channel. How do did I understand that question right? How do non-subscribers, what's the best place to listen in real time? Interesting. I think if I read that right, I'm not saying anything. I don't know if I read that right. So yeah, silver, that was an eye-opener for me. There were surprises in there. Gold, what was the other one? Oh, the dollar, that's simple. That's clear, that's support. And yeah. Okay, so that's AAOI. We just did our friends in Freeland. 65.78 it's trading at. Love it. ARNA, ARNA. So this one's late in its move too. We've been watching it. It's a straight price breakout, but let me explain why I did it. If anybody wants to know, here's what I'm looking for. This is a straight risk-reward play for me. What do I mean? Well, it's a price breakout, straight price action, and those are dangerous because you can pay a lot before you get going. I called it a day trade because I thought, well, I might chicken out here. But you see how it's coming through the bull, and the other side of, the inflections of the other side of the bull are right here on deck. There's, one just above, one not very far above. And I'm just talking about previous highs here, right? It should get, between 24.50 and 26.50 if it gets up out. 24.50 to 26.50, is that what I said? Probably 25. I think it's going to hit 25. So, my risk reward is nice, right? Now, could it fail? Sure, it could fail. But I'm in control of that. So, not in control of the stock, I'm in control of my risk to the downside. I bet you we see. I'll be careful taking any entries on my, on my gambling, right? Wow. There we go. Yeah. I bet you we see 25 bucks. It might be a little, probably down in, well, it'll be in there somewhere. Yeah. 25 bucks. 24.96. That's my official. That's my official call, 24.96. So I'm going to publish this privately. 24.96 is my upside call. Why not? The market owes me that. ARNA. Okay, next one. I just love that chart. Just from a fun perspective, if it actually happens, fun. NK. Why do I like this one? Well, it came up. It's gotten into its bowl, right? Over the 200. And remember I said a number of times, if you're going to time these entries, you want to do it when it tests your MAs and then gets a bounce. Now the bounce hasn't really happened yet today. So who knows, it might, have to retest, but it's on watch as far as I'm concerned. Definitely on watch. NK on watch for bounce of MAs in the bowl. If oil holds up at 1 o'clock, I'm going to take a long position, by the way. Just so you know. I'm waiting till rigs, not that they're important. 12 minutes away. Okay, that's NK. So that's just a matter of just seeing if it gets a bounce off MAs. It might not yet. The 50 is about to come through the 200. Stock CARA size near the bottom. MACD is turning down though, but yeah, anyway, let's see how it sets up. TLC, you guys were looking at. Just take a quick look. Oops, that's the wrong TLC. What? What have I done wrong? THC. Sheesh. THC. Doesn't THC stand for the stuff you kids smoke in pot? That's in pot. My physics teacher in grade 9 or 10 used to throw tennis balls at me during class because he knew that back in those days there was a lot of, choice of high school drugs was acid and mushrooms. And he'd whip those tennis balls at us. Holy THC, look at that. Interesting. I never did any drugs. I was good. THC. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. I should have gave the world this one. That's okay. We can keep it to ourselves. Wow. That's interesting. And then I seen I think one of you in the room was talking about it setting up on the daily. Is that what? The MACD, squeeze momentum, stock RSI, and volume hasn't confirmed. But man, did that test the MAs just perfect. And it's under the 20. Did you go long here, Reed? TLC. That's awesome. Reed, did you go long on THC? Oh, I better look at the right monitor. Not long. Okay. Here's my problems. It doesn't have its 20. Anytime you have MAs above, you got to be really cautious. No, unless you're bottom playing and you're trading between the MAs, different story. Huh. Oh, masterclass this coming week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 to 4 each day. We're going to try and do it in 6 hours. If we can't get it done in 6 hours, we're going to do the Friday session, sorry, Trace. And, but you know, it'll be available to you guys. Members will get copies of all of it. Non-members, they'll have to pay for half of them. Something like that. Ah, man, this one's tough. So price isn't good. That's against you. MA is against you, the 20. MACD is against you, and squeeze momentum is trending down. That's against you. The discipline of the MAs in it getting through the 200 and coming back and testing and possibly bouncing is in play. Geez, this one's really interesting. Oh, like I want to take a long position in it, but I can't do it yet. But that weekly is sexy. Like from the perspective of those MAs are easy to trade through those. But it's not over that 50 on the weekly. So that's what I'd do. I'd wait for that 50 on the weekly. I'd wait for my MACD and my squeeze momentum on the daily. Yeah, so let me do this. I'll publish it private. THC, wait on 50. So here, let's do this. Buy triggers explained. Wait on price over 50 MA on weekly. Wait on MACD turn on daily and squeeze MOM trend turn on daily. And then we want price over 20 MA on daily. And then hit it. Pending review. You know, you review everything at that time, right? So that's the THC. THC. And then so because of my promise about no rants, never tempt me and say, tell us how you really feel. Send. Okay, you guys will be able to access it, but it's locked because you have the link. I think that's how it works. It doesn't really matter. You can bring up the chart on your own. Yeah, so that's how that's done. Just a quick side note, Trace. I think you, when you send me charts, or yeah, charts to look at, not the actual charts, but I think you talk about the 8 EMA or MA. Maybe sometime send me an explanation as to why you're watching that. I'd be curious. It's probably just because you want to be earlier for some reason. It's my guess, but okay. So that's THC. We also, referring to my list here really quick, the dollar. I just want to take a real quick look at the dollar. Where did I put my mind? What the heck? Oh, yeah, right. Whoa. You ever do that where you really, really worry about yourself? Where you're like, where did I put my keys? And they're in your hand. Right? Fortunately, I don't have to have keys anymore. I absolutely love the fact that I don't have a bunch of vehicles. Love it. Can you believe that? Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Society, Western society is so messed up. Well, just most societies are so messed up with that kind of stuff. Love it. I want a Lamborghini for a day, go get one. I want a whatever for a day, go get one. Why would I want like, but I get it. I mean, when you're in the city, you have to drive around and look cool. No rants, Kurt, no rants. Hey, I did it for 50 years. I get it. 49 years. Well, I haven't been driving for 49, 36, 33. I'm not very that kind of math. Okay, here we are. It's holding up, but it's not where it needs to be. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oil's holding up, by the way, on the intraday. So hit support, got up, did its thing up here above the algo line, came off, but it's still safe, right? So it might build a megaphone in here and then plunk, who knows. Okay, now we need, so yeah, masterclass next week, Tuesday, 2 to 4 o'clock, will be published on YouTube, half of them. The members will get the rest on email. What else was on my list here? Oil, I don't really need to review oil. You all know that we told you it was at support, and sure enough, it hit a algo support, and it's held up so far. Hot stocks, our entries, well, we kind of went through them previous, but the hot stocks on the day. Now I want to do this because a few of them actually fit our model, right? Let's look. Let's look here. Wow, confused today. Okay, so I know ZN. Oh, by the way, look at that. It's got it's almost got two bucks at 50%. You want to watch that. DGLY, yuck. AVEO, we've been watching that one. That's a straight price breakout action play. Wow, good gold. Crazy. Crazy. TXMD, let's take a quick look. Up 11%, trading 512 on the day. There's a few good setups in this list. I'll fire through them really quick. It's just a mess. I feel sorry for people that try and trade through that. I mean, sure, if you know what you're doing, you can trade through that, but not many people can trade through that. RADA. Let's look at this one quick. Well, the P&Ls for last quarter will be out right away. Wasn't my strongest quarter, I know that. Probably the worst one I've had in a long time. I struggled last quarter, but it's with the workload too. Wow, that's right up against natural resistance here. So always look left. But it's got a gap fill a little higher. I'd be careful, folks. I'd be careful up against that resistance. But, you know, it could get going. PXY, PIXY. I already tell you this is a bad chart. CDTI, Clean Diesel Technologies. Not a bad chart. When I say that, it just doesn't fit the setups. By the way, that masterclass is going to run through all those setups. So the 7 or 8 main setups that I use and how. And then we're going to get some nice intense charting. What am I looking for? Well, I got the daily. You need your indicators. Interesting. Look at that. So there's a bunch of interesting things about this chart. The first one that strikes a chord is the volume increase today. Stock RSI is about to turn up. MACD looks like it's going to get off the ground, and the squeeze momentum indicator has been trending. Red, but trending. MA is bad, above price. There's a lot of good in this chart. Squeeze momentum, good. MACD, yeah, okay. Stock RSI, yeah, okay. Price, good. Regained the 200 MA. So how would I do that? Man, when it gets up over the 200, it can go. Geez, look at that chart. So what kind of range are we talking here? 286. That's not bad. What a turd though in here. Look at that. Can you imagine? It regains the 200, trusting all the way through, just for it to slide off. Wow, that would really upset me. That's a turd move. That's very bad. That's like a huge, huge, huge red flag on a chart. Where do we get the right picture? Magnet mode? No. I hate how they changed all my pictures. Why did you guys do this to me? I'm the victim. Give me something. There's no turds on here. You're wasting time on this. Okay, fine. This area right here does not buy groceries. Terrible. Awful. I should send this chart to the directors right now. The promoter. Who's the promoter on this chart? Wow, what a fail. They should be fired. I bet you they did get fired right in here sometime last November. Huh, it looked good. SPKAE. CDTI might, they might pull it off. Maybe they have new promoters in there. They'll manage the stock properly. This is interesting. So another one. Or got into 4 legs or so over the 200, over the setup. See, this is the way it's supposed to work. Gets up to over the 200, got a quick mic check. I am back. A lot of people say that every day. Another day with Kurt. How did that happen? Okay, it's just going to take me a minute here, guys. Sorry, I'm going to do a full session here until I'm done reviewing charts today. Don't feel bad if you got to go or do something, but I'm probably going to run for another hour or so. But I do need a 5-minute break here to just get these machines. Every single one of them crashed all at once, and I don't know how or why, but the actual machines themselves crashed, all like simultaneous. No power issue, no internet issue, just boom, everything was off. So if you just give me 5 minutes, I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Okay, one more quick mic check just to make sure. Please and thanks. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Thanks, Trace. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to keep going. If you missed my beginnings of the session today, with my apologies, please take a listen. I had to dig down deep. Going to rant about my apologies about ranting. Oh, that would be epic, but I can't. Dailies, SPKE. Oh, one other quick announcement. I'm going to be doing some traveling soon. I got to go to Colombia, Miami. I don't have to go to Spain, but I want to, and don't have to go to Thailand, but I want to soon. But anyway, Colombia, so Medellin, and Miami. So any of you that are nearby there, I'd sure like to meet you face to face. I don't have a schedule yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, see, it's far in there, but wow, this one's cool too. So there's some cool charts here. I want to take the time to go through these today. This is interesting too. In through the bowl, see, it got into what, 5 legs or so, and then it came off hard, and that's typical. And now it's testing the 20, or not 20, testing its MAs, and it's getting a bounce. So, very interesting. Sorry, I'm just watching the computers reboot here. I seem to be having a hard time. Be back in a minute. Well, not even a minute. I'm just watching them really quick here. I don't know why that would happen. That UPS power supply that I ordered, that wouldn't even help in that scenario because that wasn't electrical or internet. Huh. It would cause all of them to crash at the same time if the electrical didn't go out. How does that work? That's something new for me to learn. Okay. Back to the charts. Oh, real quick, sorry. I got to get one more mic check from you. Oh, virus. Oh, attack. Like a hacker. Sean, you're right. You're in Miami. Phoenix, I don't know, but you know what? I'm gonna be doing up a schedule because I wanna, I wanna get together with everybody. Of course. SPKE. So it looks like never seen that before. All 6 just poof, gone, come back, struggled there, and now they're back. SPKE, still the 100. It's getting a bounce off the 100. So this is pretty cool. Now, yeah, this is really, really cool. Oh, Spark Energy, that's who this is. I'd be careful. But technically, it's pretty cool, guys. I gotta tell you, I'd watch this one close. Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna save it for us because SPKE, watch the MA test through the bowl after 5 legs or more. That's a setup, and it's a sound setup. Fundamentally, I know nothing about the company. So yeah, Sean had mentioned UWT there. Yeah, so oil's down 2.5%. So yeah, it should, UWT should be down 7 to 10% on 2.5%. The way the algorithms work on the leveraged ETNs, the calculations there are complicated and they get rebalanced. But yeah, definitely should be down. Okay, that's SPKE. Very interesting setup. Then we got to go to, where did we leave off? We didn't look at this one, SCWX. Oil room's up. Ugh. I should be one of those gurus that puts an alert right now. Buy. It's a 200 right above it. Ugh. Oh yeah, no rants. TXMD, we did look at it, did we not? Just for completion's sake, I'll look at it quick here. RADA, R-A-D-A. If I do one twice, ignore me. It's that resistance. SPKA. So we did RADA. DSPG. It's got its 200, but it doesn't. I don't know what to say. Oh, what a tough chart. It's just a tough chart. I can't trade that. APPN. What do you say, right? Straight price action breakout with previous highs. No history. I mean, this is the type of chart the gambler in me wants to just hit it. AAOI, we're in. Our entry was at 64.90 earlier in the day. It's trading at 66.15. MACD turned up. Squeeze momentum on its way. Volume way up over the MAs. Got a bounce. And symmetry's in play. Ooh, look at this one. Now, didn't we share? Yeah, I shared the AAOI. Wow, that's a nugget. Nobody liked it. Good Lord. There's a lot of people mad at me this week. Russians. What's the Russians? People didn't like my AAOI. Oh, that's a nugget. Oh well, you're not doing it to get something back, Kurt. COGT. Really interesting. See, these charts are cool today. Something going on here today, folks. Oh. So before I got really, really disciplined, just moderately disciplined, I would have traded this. But, and you could win, and chances are probably 60-40 that you would. But I like 80-20, 90-10 much better than 60-40. There's some really bullish signs in this chart, but anyway, it's just, it's too, what do these guys do? Data processing. Why, you'd think data processing would, like, why? Anyway, it's probably a winner. CNAT. Wow, did that ever gap when it got above the 200? Holy cow. Interesting chart, that's for sure. It's got some pockets of some serious momo when it gets them in big gaps. That's nice where it tested the 200 there and fell off. And it really is affected by the 200. Price is above the MAs. 20 is about to breach the 100 and the 50. If it keeps going. Prices, volume, relative volume's back up. MACD is trending up. Squeeze momentum trending up. Wow, that's bullish. Gap fill's done though. I gotta say, if it firms up over this fill and it gets up over the right there, you may as well call it there, and it's into more resistance, I'd probably start legging in above there, pending your indicators. So 722, what's it trading at? 661. It's bullish. CNAT. Leg in over 772-ish, question mark. Yeah, that's an interesting chart. YUMC. Austin, Texas. Maybe you guys will just have to come and visit me in Panama when we all get together. CNAT. I used to live in Little Texas, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. YUMC. Downturn in oil give me a perfect excuse to get to the tropics and call it a life. YUMC. Yum China, all right, yeah. Wow, did that ever come off? Such a good company too. Fundamentals are crazy on this group. Yeah, MACD, you gotta wait for the MACD on this one. It's just foolish. And it's up against the 50. I'd wait, but you know, that's me. Don't do what I do. Do as I say. Yum. Where did that one go? AAOI, COG, DSPG, AVH. CNAT we already looked at. Sean, don't you have a restaurant in Puerto Rico? You should drop into the Dominican here on your way back and forth. AVH. By the way, I have a bungalow for free if anybody ever does want to come for a day or two or a week or whatever. Like a bungalow to yourself. This is no good. Not for me anyway. If you're trading a bottom play, sure, through the MAs and you know how to do it. But today's not the day for that lesson. Next week in the master classes, we shall teach that as a setup. APPN, trading 1943. Yeah, you guys come out to the Dominican whenever you want. North Shore of the Dominican is awesome. It's not like, it's not like those resort places on Punta Cana and stuff. It's not like that. Like the Hard Rock and all that. I've been to those areas on Dominican 5 or 6 times, and after the first 2 hours I was pretty bored the first time. APPN, not interested. Kite Beach and stuff out here is super cool. Some of the hustlers, they're kind of the tough part, but the part that I'm in right now is it's not like that at all. It's very peaceful. Like my beach, like at most, well, on Sundays you get a lot of people, but during the day you get like 20 people during the week. 20, 30 people on there. Huh, look at that. Maui pineapple. I don't know anything about them. I've heard, I think, Kramer talk about them when I used to watch CNBC. That's the kind of chart you just throw money into and hope for the best. Like, when does that stop? That's actually really funny. And how many charts just go straight up and don't stop? Incredible. You don't see that often. SORL is our next one. RMBS halt. Ooh. Friday afternoon halt on a holiday week. What's RMBS? RMBS. Rambus. Looks like it's going. Wow, it rammed up right up to that 200 too. I don't have my head in the market right now, so I don't know what's going on there. I can't help you. Interesting price action though. The thing is, I've learned more and more and more. It's almost better not to have your head in the market. It's like, I love Sartaj's idea of the bots. Love it. You know, for the alerts, the halts, and different things. Love that idea. Get that connected to our trading rooms too. But the actual, you know, banter in the markets and stuff, I really don't think it does anything for you. But, you know, everybody's got a different way of doing things. SORL. MACD's up. Squeeze momentum's trending up. Volume's coming up. Stock RSI is at the top. You almost have 3 soldiers here. Well, not really, but that's another interesting one. Got up into the bull, tested the 50, got a bounce, up over the 20, gapped. Yeah, that's common too, by the way. After it gets up into the bull, tests the 50, gets through the 20, very shortly after, there's typically a gap up. That's another very important part that setup you will remember. When it crosses down through an MA and stops at the next one, doesn't matter which MAs it is, once it's up into the bull area, when it fails an MA, holds at an MA, when it crosses the next MA and confirms, usually a bounce. So technically that's perfect. That's technically perfect. Perfect. When you get technically perfect like that, you pay attention to the stock. Smart. See here, fails the 20, gets down, catches the 50, technically perfect. Regains the 20. It didn't gap, but close to a gap. It may as well have been. It's very interesting. Not the right timing, in my opinion, but could be. Not highly probable though, because it's kind of right in the middle of what would have been its gap. Okay, I think we looked at that list. I think we covered that particular list. MRTX, did we look at that? Or did that just jump up in there? I should almost make a list as I go through them so I know what I've looked at. I want to look at some of the losers here today yet. And maybe even a few of the other ones that we've reviewed in past. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, pardon me. OTC. Let's see what's going on in OTC here. Not a lot. Wow, straight price action here. So when I used to gamble, I'd just throw money into that. Just any price action. And actually, you know what? It's a sound trading method, because you throw the money in, you set your stop, you know, fairly tight, and you lose 9 out of 10, but the one that you win on, you win huge. It's a way to trade, and I used to do it very successfully. I don't anymore, but yeah, these don't look that great. Okay, so that's OTC. Let's look at some of these that tanked. CHKE, I did know what happened here. It was earnings, yes. I gotta say they should be on watch. 648. So yeah. Alerts log, July 6th. I missed that one. VSTM. The heck? Damn. Damn. Anybody catch that? So that was yesterday. 2:47 in the afternoon. Jeez. Damn. So 125. Damn, how did I miss this? Shoot, so this is when the midday was happening. I must have just shut it off and never thought about it. Ah, 255 to 377. Ah, the MACD crossed up and it took right off. 5-minute chart. Oh, that's painful. Darn it. Man, you guys ever see those alerts pop up? Oh, I blew it. Sorry, guys. But if you ever see them, you want to look close. Ah, I mean, we do all the chart work, and then the alert comes up, and I don't pay attention to it. That's just stupid. Maybe I'm missing something there. I don't think so, though. I think it just got missed. It's really unfortunate. Darn it. Okay, let's go back to the dailies. Wow, can't miss those because they, just the one trade can make your whole month. Can make up a quarter. If you get legged in five times on a day trade like that. Oh, and that was afternoon too. That's perfect time. It's much better than open. Shoot. Same with the halts and stuff. Interesting, but I wouldn't touch it. RTNB. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Interesting. Yeah, this should be on watch. For sure. It's got its 200, it's coming back. It's probably going to test the 20 and the 50 and then go. So, what do? We set an alert to, I'm not sure what the best way to set an alert on this one is. See, this is very likely just profit taking. It's up over its 200, got a nice pop. Oh, fantastic. 10, 11 to 12 bucks. Beautiful pop. Nice. Good stuff there. Huh. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a bonus in here. RTNB, is that what that was? Yeah, I like this one a lot. This is almost my favorite chart today. It probably is, it is. Studying the history of this one would be very important. I think this is going to be a winner. Probabilities are very high. Best setup of the day for our new Discord. You call them members? Is that what you actually call? Yeah, members, right? For our new members in our public chat. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Best chart setup of the day. That's a good chart. That could rock. Copy, paste. Reed just put in a new idea. Public lounge. Yeah, that's a good chart. That's a really good chart. So I can even take this one step further and do this. Put a teaser out there. Just posted best chart of the day in our new HBI, new chart by Reed. Just posted best chart setup of the day in our new free public chat room. Check it out. Why not, eh? Trading process. Sure. Take a look at that HBI chart if you don't mind. I just pulled up RTNB and had some resistance lines put in already. Must have seen it on my screen at some point. Interesting. Yeah, this is a really, really, really interesting chart. Now, hopefully the history of the chart doesn't mess it up. But I gotta tell you, the probabilities of that playing out are high. Oh, see, look at the history, is awesome. Total respect for its MAs all the way through and on the way down. Oh, chart porn, that's what this is. Total chart porn, I gotta say it. that RTNB chart. Are you right? Chart porn. Had to say it. Okay. Doesn't look like anybody took my teaser bait. How do you tell when new people come in? Oh, well, fine. Fine then. RTNB, nice chart. Smoking. I need a better alert on this. How do I, oh, the 20 crossing the 200, that's it. That's the alert. That's the one. 20 MA crossing the 200. We have to get better at catching these alerts. Okay, so that one's smoking. Wow, that was worth the time. Just that one setup. I mean, there's others, but RSYS. Oh, what was the one that we put in there? HBI. Let's take a look at that too. Oh, let's kill this and go into HBI first before I forget. Haynes. What's this mean? Stock bot. What's True Trading Group? Is that the group that coded stock bot maybe? I betcha. Can't believe more people didn't dig into that AAOI. But you know what's funny is, like on a Friday, like most days, you look at those impressions on my Twitter feed and there's 50, 60,000 or so. And today, markets must be quiet. 25,000, so almost a third. HBI, not that, This is interesting. That squeeze momentum is the only concern on that chart, and volume. But volume kind of makes sense because it's testing. How's its history? Wow, did that ever trend? It's a good setup. This stock I would have even looked at as a bottom gap fill. Right here. Be ideal when the 20 crossed the 50. That came off real hard there. I would have got shook out there. But when the 20 crossed the 50 again, right here. Smoking. I'm going to publish it private here so I don't lose it. Thanks, Reed. Good play. HBI over 200 MA. Watch for continuation. Good one. Great, in fact. So even though I got the best membership you can get, I only have so many alerts I can use. So I've had to set up 2 other memberships just for alerts. The buggers. So because the stock RSI is on its way down, MACD is already crossed up. My buy trigger is really the stock RSI on the daily. Nice. This is a good session. I just have to write these down more often. I mean, keep a list of ones I looked at, because I can't remember if I looked at RTNB or not. Yeah, loved it. That's the best one of the day. Mind you, that last one, that Haynes, that's pretty smoking too. See, when you look at your charts this way, like the screener idea that Reed's using is fantastic for efficiency. Doing it this way, though, it gives you an idea of what's going on in the markets. A screener would do that too, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, Reed's just got a more efficient way. FMSA, Fairmount Central Holdings. Yeah. No. Well, that's looking like about it for the day. Oh, CARA. CARA. The other ones on this list, I don't like them. I already know that. Oil's still holding up. Whoa. Oil chart's frozen. Is it frozen? What's wrong with this oil chart? Oh, no, it's not. CARA. How's CARA doing? So we were right, Tracy. See? Listen to Tracy. She sold at the top. She said it would test the 200, and look what it's doing. Well, looky there. And the stock RSI is about to turn up. Ooh, a nugget. This is a big deal. It's our trading range here, 1357 to, ooh, it's double. There's a double in there. Is there anybody in this room right now? Oh, 17 lucky people. Oh, if this gets a bounce and it confirms, that's the squeeze momentum is trending down though right now. Okay, so gotta set the alarm on this. Definitely don't want to hurry into it, but at the same time, this could be the play on Monday. I gotta tell you. So its continued weakness test would be that 100. If it does, that's what you look for. Down in the 1140 area. Chart history is your issue. So, what do we want to set as an alert here? Maybe a straight price action. Wow. That's been one of the better sessions on Midday that I've seen in a long time. Very constructive. Very constructive session. And maybe I'll go 14. I'll keep a fairly good eye on this one. Very interesting. So how's it trading today? Just getting pushed down by the MAs one step at a time. Ooh, this should be your bounce area pretty soon. Well, shoot. Yeah, that $13 area. So trading at 13.92. Yeah, it might get into that 13 and a quarter range before it bounces, but I gotta tell you, set a bunch of alarms on that one. Okay, so we did the movers, we did the downers, we did OTC, we did various plays we're looking at. I did my apologies. I think I covered it all. Of course I covered it all. Any final words, folks? It's 2:02 now. Wow, 2-hour session. 2:02 in the afternoon. Welcome, by the way, Hank. New member. JD, by the way, if I welcomed you, I'm sure. Thing is, I can't see everybody in the room when I do that, so I don't even know who's all in there. Whoops, wrong room. I think that's it. Compound trading, general. Anybody like my chart? Oh, that's funny. So Sartash just told the bot. Is that what the exclamation mark does? I guess so, hey? So I put in RTNB, and then these folks came in after. So maybe my little teaser worked to get 3 people in. Trading 2018 came in. Murphy Doc. I am new here. Want to know about crude oil trading. Well, we know a thing or two about crude oil trading. Okay, no final questions? That was an awesome comment. Way to go. That's a great way to end it. Thanks, Trace. I needed a laugh. Well, you guys have a great day. I think I'm going to call it a day. Well, mind you, why don't we scan real quick before we let's scan the market real quick before we call it a day. I'll leave the recorder on. Let's take a look around. Let me bring up some scanners here really quick. See if there's anything going on. Oh, ZN. I did want to look at that as a possible day trade. ARNA, ARNA, entry today, 64.90 trading. No, not ARNA. ARNA was at, what was my entry today? 1943, trading at 1938. That was a day trade. AAOI 64.90 is my entry. How am I doing? 66. Ooh, nice play. 66.97. Hopefully my swing members like that. But ARNA. So I'm off 5 cents or so. Yeah, ARNA was kind of risky. That's why I wasn't confident about the swing. But I really like the chart. Okay, I gotta bring up my scanners really quick. Get through the scan. It's Friday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Yeah. ARNA, it's straight price breakout, so what do you do, right? That 50 is going to breach the 100, though. Underneath that 200, everything's so bullish. It just gapped. Do I hold it? Oh, it was upgraded too. Well, let it go hold it. What do we got here? RMBS. BB. How'd BB get back? GNC. Wow, the market's really come alive today. Nick, you're right. You were right. Our late night conversation there. Market's really come alive. Yeah, just going through the scans. There's not a lot here, but the market has definitely improved today. There's no doubt about it. That was one of the better sessions we've had in a long time. And I'm really positive about next week because of it. So if there's no other questions, I'm going to call it a day, leave the room open and go enjoy the beach. FEYE, really? That's one of my swings. So thanks for coming out, guys and gals. I'll see you on Monday. This weekend, all the algos go out, and yeah, it's 2:08 in the afternoon. Good enough for me on a Friday. Yep, that pretty much covers it. Thanks. See you on Monday.